storm didn't arrive all at once. It crept in quietly, rain tapping the windshield like nervous fingers, the road ahead fading into a narrow tunnel of darkness. The headlights cut weakly through the downpour, illuminating wet asphalt and nothing else. No signs, no houses, no other cars, just trees pressing in from both sides, bending and swaying as if they were listening. Then the engine coughed. Once, twice, and died. The sudden silence felt wrong, too complete. The radio cut off mid-word. The dashboard lights flickered and went black. Only the storm remained, roaring against the car like it was angry I had stopped moving. I tried the ignition again. Nothing. Rain streaked down the glass, distorting the world outside into a smeared, shifting mess. My phone had no signal. The battery was already low. When I stepped out of the car, the cold soaked through my clothes instantly, rain crawling down my neck, into my shoes. That was when I noticed the house. It sat just beyond the tree line, close enough to the road that I wondered how I'd missed it before. An old, abandoned thing. 2 stories, slumped and crooked, its windows dark and hollow. The porch sagged under its own weight, and the front door hung slightly open, rocking back and forth in the wind with a dull, hollow knock. I hesitated. Something about it felt wrong. Not dangerous exactly, just off. But the storm was worsening, and the road offered nothing but darkness. I ran for it. The door groaned when I pushed it open. Inside, the air smelled stale and damp, thick with rot and dust. Rainwater dripped steadily from somewhere in the ceiling. I closed the door behind me, and the sudden quiet made my ears ring. The house was almost empty. An overturned chair, a broken cabinet, old picture frames scattered on the floor, their glass shattered, the photographs inside ruined by time and moisture. Whoever had lived here had left in a hurry or never planned to return. At the back of the house, up a narrow staircase, I found a bedroom. There was a bed, old. Metal frame rusted and groaning when I touched it. The mattress was thin and stained, but it was dry. Exhaustion pressed down on me harder than fear. The storm outside howled like something alive, and eventually, against every instinct screaming not to, I lay down. Sleep came fast. Too fast. I don't know how long I'd been out when I woke up. The storm was quieter now, distant. The house creaked softly, settling. For a moment, everything felt almost calm. Then I realized I wasn't alone. The air felt different, heavy, like someone else was breathing in the room with me. I opened my eyes. She stood near the doorway, a woman, tall and unnaturally thin. Long black hair hung over her face in tangled curtains, hiding her eyes completely. She wore a white dress, once clean, now gray with dirt and streaked with something darker. The hem brushed the floor, dragging softly as she moved. She didn't walk normally. Her head twitched sharply to one side, then snapped back. Her body followed in short, jerking steps, like her joints didn't quite work right. Each movement was accompanied by a faint, wet sound, like bones shifting where they shouldn't. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. She stopped. Slowly, her head tilted, too far at an angle no living neck should allow. Her hair parted just enough. I never saw her eyes, but I knew, absolutely knew that she was looking directly at me. Her head began to twitch faster now, short, violent jerks. Her shoulders trembled, the air filled with a low, broken sound, somewhere between a sob and a laugh. Then she took a step closer. The bed creaked under my weight as I tried to crawl backward, but my body refused to obey. My mouth opened, but no sound came out. She leaned forward, her hair brushed my face, cold, damp, smelling of earth and rot. The twitching stopped suddenly, replaced by complete stillness. And then she whispered my name. I never told anyone my name. Her mouth opened wider than it should have, stretching into something impossible, and the lights. There were no lights, but somehow the room felt brighter, flickered. The last thing I felt was her breath against my ear, cold, satisfied. And then, silence. I hadn't been to my grandparents' summer house in years, not since they passed. The road leading to it was thinner than I remembered, swallowed by weeds and leaning trees, the gravel crunching beneath my tires, sounding far too loud in the quiet. When the house finally came into view, my stomach tightened. It looked older, not just abandoned, aged, as if time had pressed down harder on it than on everything else around it. The paint had peeled into long, curling strips. The windows were dark, clouded with grime. Even the porch sagged lower than it should have, the wood bowed like tired bones. I told myself memory was unreliable. Years had passed. Of course, it looked different. Still, as I unlocked the door and stepped inside, unease crept in with me. The smell hit first. Dust, damp wood, something stale beneath it all. The furniture was there, but not where I remembered it. A chair turned toward the wall. A table shoved too close to the window. Small things, subtle things, but wrong. Like someone had tried to recreate the house from memory and almost succeeded. I walked through the room slowly, my footsteps echoing louder than they should have. Every wall was lined with photographs, old family pictures yellowed with age, my grandparents, my parents, me as a child, standing on this very porch. Every photo was unmistakably ours. That should have comforted me. It didn't. Night fell faster than I expected. The house creaked as the temperature dropped, wood shifting and groaning like something breathing in its sleep. I went upstairs to the bedroom I used to sleep in as a kid. The bed was still there, smaller than I remembered. The blankets smelled faintly of dust and something sour. I lay down anyway. Sleep came, reluctantly, pulling me under in short, uneasy waves. Then I woke up. I didn't know why at first. The room was dark, heavy with silence. For a moment, I thought I'd imagined it. Until I heard the sound again from below. A slow, deliberate noise from the basement, a footstep, then another. The basement door creaked open. My body went cold. I lay perfectly still, staring at the ceiling as the sound continued. Someone ascending the old wooden stairs. Each step groaned loudly, the wood protesting the weight placed upon it. The pace was wrong. Too slow, too intentional. Step, creak, pause, step. My heart pounded so hard I was sure it could be heard throughout the house. The footsteps reached the top. Silence stretched, thick and unbearable. Then the sound of dragging fabric. She appeared in the hallway. A woman stood just beyond the doorway of my room. Long black hair hung forward, completely covering her face. She wore a white dress, once elegant perhaps, now stained with dirt and age, clinging to her thin frame. As she moved, her head twitched sharply to the side, once, twice, like a broken marionette being jerked by invisible strings. I held my breath. She didn't look at me at first. She stood there, swaying slightly, her head jerking at unnatural angles. I told myself she couldn't see me, that maybe, somehow, I was hidden in the darkness. Then her head snapped toward the bed. She had spotted me. My blood turned to ice. She stood very still, her body trembling faintly. Slowly, agonizingly slowly, she began moving toward my room. The door was slightly open, just enough for her to slip through. Each step brought another violent twitch of her head, bones cracking softly with the motion. I couldn't scream, I couldn't move. She reached the doorway, paused. Then she ran. Her feet slammed against the floor as she charged into the room, hair flying, dress dragging behind her. The distance between us vanished in a heartbeat. Her movement was frantic, unnatural, her limbs jerking wildly as she lunged for the bed. I shut my eyes and felt the mattress dip beside me. Her presence pressed close, impossibly cold. I could smell her now, earth, rot, something long buried. Her head twitched inches from my face, the sound sharp and violent. She leaned down and whispered in a voice cracked and wrong, "You weren't supposed to come back." The house groaned around us, and then everything went black.